Hey everybody, it's Peter from the Kia Hyundai channel. Big exciting day today because we finally have some new product. We were sort of feast or famine for a while. This is the 2022 Kia Forte. Now we've shown one of these before, but this model in particular is the one I've wanted to see because today we're going to compare the GT line, which is an all new trim of this refresh model, to the GT over there. A lot of similarities and some really key differences as well. So that's what we're gonna do today on our live video. If you've never joined us before and you just wanna get to the content of this video, we do film these live. So if you're not live with us, you can skip ahead to the 3-minute mark where we get going with the content. In the meantime, big news and big notes, and I mean like big news. One car we've been waiting for longer than a year is coming. So we'll talk about that in just 1 second. First of all, I'm gonna show you how to join us live if you wanna know how. So right here, you go to our YouTube channel and you'll see this is sort of the main video. If you come here exactly at 2 o'clock Eastern time, which you can see right there, it's 2 o'clock, and you refresh this page, you will find that that sort of standard placeholder video is replaced by our live videos. We're gonna click into that for a second. As we do that, it's gonna show you an ad. As it shows you an ad, I'm gonna run a quick ad ourselves. Ooh, this is for I don't even know what this is. Oh, this is an exciting ad. Anyways, our quick ad is 3 dealerships support this channel. They make this happen. They are Brantford Kia, Brantford Hyundai, and Owen Sound Hyundai. If you are in Ontario and you're looking to buy a car, when this video is done, I'm gonna have a link in the description. You can reach out to me through that link and I will help you connect with our team. They can serve you anywhere in Ontario. They will treat you like family. They'll treat you like they're my family. So that's why I say come through me, because I follow up and I make sure that they're treating everybody the way I would expect to be treated. And it's just a great place to buy cars. All 3 of our dealers, they're really supportive, they're really cool, and they're fun to work with. So there's that, and it happens all the time. Like we've had people all the time through these videos. You won't be the only one, I promise. So what else have we got going on? Oh yeah, tomorrow, the Ioniq 5 is here. It's on the ground in Brantford. If you're at Brantford Hyundai, if you're in the area, it's on the ground right there right now. I know it's going through their shop to get ready today. They're probably gonna clean it up a tiny bit for me. I will have that car tomorrow. It will be here on our live video at 2 o'clock. I'm gonna try to do some other things with it. If you have questions, you can reach out to me on Instagram. It's Peter Kia Hyundai channel. There's some underscores in there, but Peter Kia Hyundai channel on Instagram. I will be posting a little bit about that tonight when I go see it this evening. And then of course, on YouTube, we're gonna put the live video and some other videos on that car. I know you guys have questions, so do I. So super exciting day, because this is legitimately the next generation of EVs, and we're talking class leading stuff here. I saw it in the LA Auto Show, you can check out that video, but I've been waiting to see the Canadian models, and now we have one that we can go through. We're gonna get it tomorrow. We're gonna have it back in the future as well. So if you wanna know about that car, subscribe to our channel, because we're gonna have it, and really that's the biggest news there is. So 10 seconds to go before we go live. If you are a regular with us, do me a favor, hit the like button. We're gonna have a few less people on these small car videos than we do on something like an Ioniq 5 tomorrow. So make sure you hit the like button if you're a regular. If you're not a regular with us, yeah, hopefully I can earn your like at some point. If there's something I do throughout the video that's helpful, let me know. All right, we're just past the 3-minute mark, so let's get digging into these cars. The first thing I was going to do was get the keys for you, so I forgot to do that. So let me just jump in and grab the key. Where did I put it? Oh, there we go. And there we go. All right, so the reason I'm excited about this car is because it needed an update. It was falling a little bit behind in the technology segment compared to the Hyundai Elantra, which we did just 2 days ago, and now it's got those back. So it's had a refresh. You've got new bumpers, new lights, you've got new wheels in some of these models and some others you don't. You've also got a 10.25 inch screen available inside, and it is in both of these vehicles, which gives you new software. You've got lane follow assist, those kind of things. A lot of key pieces that are in these vehicles, which bring them up to date. But the key thing, especially with that model, is it's just a blast to drive. And this one's not too shabby either. I spent about 30 kilometers driving this car today, maybe a little bit more than that. I've driven that car before, so I didn't go too far on that because I wanted to see how the new model drove, but it's been fun. So here's what the key looks like. And it is the new key. A lot of you guys are concerned that if it has a remote start on the key fob, if it's a push button start, it pretty much has that. So the silver car looks larger than the red. It must be the angle. It is definitely the angle. They are identical bodies, identical things that way. So good comment there, but I'll show you them all in a second. So remote start is now standard on the key. And of course, down here you have lock, unlock, and the hold button there. What I like about these is they're hard to press accidentally. So there we go. Somebody said they bought a Kia Stinger. That's awesome. All right, let's keep going through here. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start with this GT line and then move to the GT, because we've seen a little bit of the GT before, but we're gonna do a full in-depth comparison here. So if you've never joined us before, we're gonna be on here. So the first 30 minutes of our video, all about these cars. After 30 minutes, we're going to be going through the questions that we may have missed along the way and possibly going a couple things off topic, but I think we'll stay pretty much on topic today. This is pretty exciting with these two cars because I think they just did a great job. And when I say exciting, I mean exciting for me because I really like these small car segment, and I think these cars just needed the upgrades that they had. So I'm pretty pumped to be able to talk to you about them today. Let's look at the 2022 Forte lineup. It starts down at a pretty reasonable price of $18,295. That's a manual transmission. You get things like Android Auto and Apple CarPlay wirelessly, even on that trim line. So LX manual transmission, then there's the LX, then there's the EX, then we find the button here, there we go. Then you got an EX Plus, then you got an EX Premium, and then you have the GT line, which is what we're talking about today, and the GT Limited. So GT line, GT Limited, those of you who are sort of familiar with the lineup from previous years, $26,795 and $29,995 is the MSRP of these two cars. This car didn't exist before, and that car is now the only way to get the 1.6 liter turbo engine with 195 foot, actually it's probably 201 horsepower. Yeah, 201 horsepower, 195 foot-pounds of torque, and this one's 147 horsepower. So the biggest difference is this one has a lot of that in here on the inside, and it has a lot of similarities on the outside as well, but you have the more powerful engine there, the different transmission there, and the rear suspension of this one is ripped right out, and they put a whole new rear suspension in that one, which helps you at sort of high-speed maneuvers. You have a multi-link suspension there. You also have a noisier, although pleasant-sounding, exhaust in that one, and this one's sort of a great efficiency car that looks great, feels great, has a sporty character to it, but this one is a true blast to drive. Not quite on the level of the Elantra N, which is probably another $10,000 more. We haven't had Canadian pricing released, and that's an extreme sort of track car. So you're looking at a fun to drive, sporty, regular everyday car. And then this one, again, same idea, but different. So let's just take a quick glance at the front just to show you. It used to be that the GT models were the only ones that had red accents in here. Now the GT line does it. So it does very much look like the ones with the higher, the more powerful engine, but you have a little bit of red accents in there, and that is not body color dependent. So whatever color you get here, even if you get, oops, come on camera, oh boy. That was supposed to be a smoother transition, but my camera kind of acted up. Even if you get that one over there in white, you're still going to see the red accents in the grille, which you can't see on camera because it's too far away, but we'll have that one in a video probably next week. And then you also have the red accents down there. So you definitely have that sporty kind of look. You have LED lights in there. We'll turn them on for you later in the video. And then over here, same type of thing exactly. You still have those red lines there, but not the engine. So I think they did a good job of just kind of giving this the look of the GT. You do have 1 inch smaller wheels here, so you have 17-inch wheels there, 18s over there. Now this is still bigger than other trim lines of the Forte, where you can get down to 16. I think, is there even a 15? I don't remember if there's a 15 this year. We'll have to double check that. But you do have 17-inch wheels, which look pretty sharp. And you've got they don't film really well, but when you see them in person, they look a little different. See, the problem with filming it is the lighter stuff stands out and the darker stuff kind of doesn't stand out on camera. But in person, you can see these dark lines just kind of as equally as the light stuff, and it looks really good. On the other model, carryover wheels from the last GT model, and that's fine. Let's jump inside here. You can see some other details. Black mirror caps there, body color door handles and everything else. Sunroof, of course, black shark fin antenna. You guys already really like the shark fin antennas, and we have them there. Inside, the seats are excellent. I just drove in this car today. Powered seats with a powered lumbar. Some plastic here, shipping plastic. So again, we just got these cars in, so don't worry about some of the shipping plastic. If it looks like the quality is not where you want it to be, it's probably just the shipping plastic. GT line stitched right in the seat there, so just high-end looking seats. There are perforations in the seat here. We're going to talk about them in a second here. Some contrasting stitching, contrasting piping. It looks fantastic, and we'll just throw this down here for now. But it also feels fantastic. Very comfortable seats. You can see they kind of notch out a little bit to give you a little bit extra length in the seat, which is what you want for comfort. As we jump in, of course, it is a tilt and telescopic steering wheel, and again, the same model steering wheel as the GT had, with sort of the little bit of a flat bottom rim. So the curve kind of tightens up here and you have the flat bottom rim down there. Push button start, of course. So we'll just go to there. We're going to turn it to the on position. We're going to strip away some of the shipping plastic here for a second. If I can do that. There we go. So we'll pull that away there. We'll leave that on the seat for now. So inside the dash here, it's hard to show you right now, but this is a nice color display. So you can see sort of the red lights in the car there. Very precise. We've seen this before. This bar graph is a nice, more modern interpretation of fuel efficiency, where that can move up and down in a color bar graph. And then you have instant and current And then we also have navigation in this car, so you can have factory navigation showing in your dash or in the large screen, which we'll show you in a second here. And then tire pressure monitors, that's pretty standard stuff. So lots of stuff. There's lots of menu items. Driver attention warning, we're gonna go away from that. Fuel efficiency, ignore fuel efficiency. Actually, you know what? 6.1 liters per 100 kilometers, that's what I got today. And I wasn't driving, you know, super efficiently, but again, this car just does efficiency well. 7.9 liters over the whole 50 kilometers, 38.4. So I did 38.4 kilometers this morning. So that's actually a little bit more than that because I got fuel since then. So I put that fuel in. So there you go. There's a real world fuel efficiency for me. And again, you can see some color there. You can change the theme a little bit there, but really nice display screen that gives you all the features and options you would want as if it was a full LCD display. Overall, still large gauges here that are easy to read. They're obviously not as clear on camera as they are in person, but they're just, you know, good dash display there. And then you have basically a system that I've come to love here. I don't love the purple. They're still going with the purple, and there's not much I can do about that. But I've learned to really like this software for a number of reasons. First of all, you can see it's in the guest mode right now. In this 10.25 inch screen, if you're in a Forte, you've probably never seen these before. The 10.25 inch screen has multiple driver modes. And what that does is allows you to switch between driver 1, driver 2, or guest. I'm gonna leave it on guest for now, but you can customize the name. So it could say Peter, it could say Johnny, it could say whoever else you wanna have in there. But you can customize the names. And when you switch those driver modes, the reason that's important is because not just things like, you know, your radio presets, those kind of things can be customized, but you also have the ability to customize some of your safety functions on this car. So when you see the safety functions on this car, you can go through the vehicle here and you go to the driver assistance settings. So driver assistance, you've got smart cruise control, you've got driver convenience, warning timings, warning volumes, driver attention warning. You can set it up for various things like leading vehicle departure. When a car pulls away from in front of you, it'll ding ding. If you're not paying attention to while you're driving, it'll say, hey, maybe you should take a break. Forward safety, you can set up for active assist. Lane safety, you can set up for active assist or just lane keep warning. So what that does is it's capable of steering the car back into the lane for you, or you can just make it beep when you cross line, or you can turn the whole system off together. So the reason the multiple drivers are important on these systems is because these systems may be set up for you, and when you're sharing the car, maybe that other person doesn't want the same settings or the same features the same way you are. And I always consider it like sharing a cell phone with someone. If you share a cell phone with someone, you're gonna find that you're making compromises. Well, if you share a car, you no longer have to make those compromises. You can set this car up for you. All you're gonna do is choose the driver that you want, and you'll pick an image that corresponds with you or your co-driver, and you'll know that everything is set up the way you want it, including even just having these icons in the place you want. Maybe you want the setup menu right over here. Maybe you want the map menus over there. You can set up so many things in here. One little thing that's come to the Forte that hasn't been here before is this quiet mode. So quiet mode we've seen before in a lot of our larger vehicles. It used to be it sets to volume level 7, but now the radio is a little bit more precise. So 7 to 0 was basically 7 volume levels. Now they're giving you a little bit more control, 25 different volume levels from quiet to fully quiet. And basically what that means is if you set it to quiet mode, the rear speakers behind me are going to turn off. So if you have kids in the back, they can maybe sleep a little bit better, or even if they're just listening to their own music in their earphones, they can listen to that, and you can turn it on here. And then of course you can turn it up from there. So if you turn the quiet mode on, just music in the front area. We used to have that, it began in our Telluride. Now it's working its way to other cars. Let's see if the HD radio data works. I like the Doppler radar now. It doesn't work right now. We're inside. But you can see things like Doppler radar and stuff like that in here. So it's kind of a cool feature. And again, just the radio looks pretty cool. So again, we've seen this in our other cars, just a cool looking dash. It stands out. And then if you go with the split screen look over here, you can keep your navigation up with things. You can go clock, radio, anything you want. And the fun thing is if you keep it on, let's say navigation here, and I want to switch it to map, well, then I can go 2/3 map and 1/3 radio. So many things you can do with the screen. I've gotten quite used to it. I still miss some things that they could improve on it that they've done before, but I think you're gonna like what's here right now. I should point out sunroof up here. Now we do see the black roof above us. That is more of a sporty feel. It used to be only in the GT. Again, it's in this GT line. So again, you're getting a vehicle here that gives you an idea gives you a vehicle like the GT, but you have the engine without the extra power. And if most of your driving is just commuting, then I think for a lot of people, they'll be perfectly happy with this engine and a little bit less, I don't know if it's frenetic or anything. It's just a little bit less, just more mainstream, right? So the other car, a little bit noisier exhaust, a little bit more sporty feel. This one's just a great regular car with great features. All right, let's just jump in here. Somebody asked, is there no sounds of nature? And I didn't see it, but I feel like it should have it on this car. There's no sounds of nature. Oh my goodness, did my complaining take it away? Okay, so sounds of nature. We're going to do a video on sounds of nature. It plays things like the sounds of a cafe or snowy village where you can crawl through a village. I guess it makes the sound of a crunching snow. It's kind of silly to have in a car, and I keep complaining about it, and it looks like they didn't include it. So I win. Congratulations. Coming down here, auto climate control. So it's a dual zone auto climate control. Now, if you're looking at a Kia Seltos, this Kia Seltos, like the EX Premium, would have the same engine as this, the same screen as this, same features, same navigation. When it goes to its automatic climate control, it only has a single zone automatic climate control. So now you're getting dual zone. You're getting it at a lower price than you could get it in something like the Seltos. So you can set the temperature left and right differently if you want it to. I'm going to turn it off for now. Wireless cell phone charging down here. You've got a 12 volt port on the left and 2 USB ports down there. The outside ones are behind doors. The transmission, this one is an IVT transmission. That basically just means it gets great efficiency. If you want to switch your own gears on your own, you can do that by tapping it this way and tapping it up and down between 8 different ratios. So that's kind of cool. While we're here, we'll show you reverse just so we can show you the backup camera. Backup camera is like that, crystal clear. These 10.25 screens are excellent. You can change the views if you wanted to. It looks straight down at something if you want to see right behind your car. Oops, sorry, not that one. This one here. So you can look straight down over there, right behind the car, and you can look down, or you can just have the wide angle view, which, to be honest, you probably don't need to look straight down because you can still see the same type of thing. But, you know, you have that option. So kudos to Kia for getting some nice technology in there. Coming down here, remember we talked about the perforated seats? Well, you have rump roasters, which I'm a big fan of. You also have ventilated seats. And everything I've shown you so far is also in the GT model. So ventilated seats we've had in the GT model before, GT Limited. You now have in the GT line. And it's the first time we can get these ventilated seats, as far as I remember, in this engine and transmission combination. Down here, you have the heated steering wheel as well. Drive modes, you've got normal, sport, and smart, which is the same thing as you would have in all the other vehicles with this engine and in the Forte here. So the smart mode is essentially your eco mode, electronic parking brake on this trim line. And as we just come up to the steering wheel for a second here, you're going to see not only do you have cruise control, but you have smart cruise control and lane follow assist. So lane follow assist, again, can see the lane markers in front of the vehicle, but it can also see different vehicles. It uses a number of different variables. The lane keeping assist used to just work above 60 kilometers an hour. The lane follow assist can work at almost any speed, or I think it's 0 to 200, so any real driving speed. And it's capable of steering the car for you to keep you centered in the lane. Now, you're still responsible for your car, but it does take the stress out of driving. Just to be able to put your hand on the wheel and, you know, do less of the corrections that you normally do. So you're doing less of this and that all the time. The car kind of does that for you. And it makes long drives just way, way better. So really like that lane follow assist. It was something that I really feel like should have been in this car a while ago, and it now is. You've got 2 custom buttons over here. You've got one right there, which is the star button. You can customize that to whatever you want. You've also got a custom button over here. This used to be the hang up button. Now, I still use it as a hang up button. I guess you can set it up differently, but you can customize some of these buttons. So again, full updated software in here. LED headlights, we'll talk about them in a second. Lane or blind spot detection. So that, of course, is the blind spot detection there, which gives you rear cross traffic alert. So many good features on this car. They've just done a really great job. One more feature is Kia Connect, which is still Uvo Intelligence, and Kia Connect. It's kind of running by 2 names right now, which means you can call a tow truck, you can call SOS, you can also have a cell phone app that remote starts your car that tells you if your doors are left open or doors are left unlocked even. So it does a whole bunch of things right from your cell phone. It's free for, at this point, I believe 3 years still. This is a 2022 model. I haven't heard any different yet. There will be a pay subscription to that service in the future, which is nice because if you don't want to pay for it, you still have remote start on the key fob. All right, we are 18 minutes in. We're going to go show you the GT in a second, and then we're going to go do the outside comparison, rear seats, trunks, lighting especially. Lighting's updated, but I'm looking for some likes. So we got 33 people on. There's no reason we can't hit, let's say, 65 likes today. So let's see if you want to do it together with me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If we all hit the like button right now, you'll have a bunch of people join us. And we'll go take your questions right now, and then we'll keep going through. So again, everything I've shown you so far is also in the GT model. The big thing with the GT is the rear suspension has been changed out, especially the design of it, and it's gonna hold the road a little better. It's a little bit more cool sounding, and it has that more powerful engine, which we'll talk about in a second. But let's go back to your questions here, and let me just go back to where I need to be, and we'll keep going here. So where I need to be is in your questions. All right, few things. Okay, somebody's in the UK watching us. That's awesome. Somebody likes my videos. I appreciate that. Silver car looks large. We talked about that. An off-topic question about Hyundai's H-Track system. That's probably best for later in the video, so stick around till the last bit. I'll try to do that. Is a 201 horsepower GT acceleration smooth or jerky from a dead stop? So it has a dual clutch transmission, so it has a clutch that has to grab. Some people will probably describe that as jerky, but I don't think that's how this car feels. It has an immediacy, the same way as if you're driving manual transmission, you release the clutch. It has a little bit of that feel. It's smoother than that, very, very good manual transmission driving. I wouldn't call it jerky at all. It's a little bit different, but I have no trouble being very smooth in that car. I drive a car with a dual clutch transmission. I bought one with a dual clutch transmission, and I love it. So very quick shifting is the big thing with the dual clutch transmission. It's really good at quick shifting, which is nice. All right. Somebody actually listens to Peter at Kia. I don't know why the Sounds of Nature's not there. There's no way that they did that. I mean, I win, but if they're listening to me, then let's give options of purple. So here's what I want if they're listening to me. That purple color, I'm not a huge fan of purple. Can we customize it? Can we make it red? Can we make it different colors? I don't know. I think that'd be cool. Do you? Yeah. Right, my boss is on here, and he's asking how I get my hair to stand up straight like that. Yeah, well, we'll talk. I'm not allowed to insult my boss on camera because he'll just use it against me when we have to negotiate. Are the lights regular LED or projector beam? So we're going to talk about the LED lights on this in a second. We'll talk about that in a second. PHEV stuff, we'll talk about that as an off-topic thing. Red accents on the interior are part of the ambient lighting. Is the red accents on the interior part of ambient lighting? I don't remember. I think the car for 2022, yeah. For 2022, they got rid of that ambient lighting, so the GT logo was ambient lit in the past. They got rid of that this year. So here's what we're going to do. Go take a look at the GT. We got to go rear seat and trunk space, which is going to be the same in both these cars. Space-wise, it's the same. We'll just make sure the features are the same. And then I want to show you lighting. So we're going to do all that in the next 7-8 minutes, and then we'll come back and take more questions, including some of those off-topic questions. So if you haven't given us a like yet, I think, what do we say? We're going for 66. We're only at 41. We can do this. I need your help, but we can do this. All right, jumping in this car. Again, same thing I showed you completely. The only difference here is you have the red piping and the red contrasting stitching, and instead of the GT line, you have GT. Now, they do seem to be a little bit taller bolsters here. You know what? I'm going to go take a look to tell you if that's correct. These are things they don't always tell us in the spec sheet. I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. They look similar to me. So let's just sit them and see if they feel any different. But the red piping is basically the big difference. Still powered seats, still with the lumbar, still telescopic wheel. You have the square cut bottom wheel there, but it says GT instead of GT line. Turning the start thing on. Now, of course, because this is a different engine, different transmission, you have the paddle shifters. This is a 7-speed dual clutch transmission with the paddle shifters on the wheel, so you have the option of doing that. Same type of screen in here, same type of screen over there, same type of UVO intelligence buttons there. We're going to put the sunroof back, same roof. Whoops, come on, camera. Here we go. Same roof line here as well, so you've got the darker roof there. And again, same. They feel and look the exact same inside, other than, like I said, this gear shift here is connected to a dual clutch transmission. It's a 7-speed, and then you have the paddle shifters as well. So everything I showed you is identical. It's what you don't see that matters. So let's just really quickly talk about why you might want to go to this. It's not just that it's got, instead of 147 horsepower, 201, which is the most horsepower out of this engine. If you get this engine in the Seltos, it only makes about 180, 181 horsepower. If you get this engine in the Kia K5, same thing, 180, 181 horsepower. If you get this engine in this car, 201 horsepower. So that's kind of a nice little bonus, but the big thing is you get torque, and a lot of it, 195 foot-pounds of torque, but you get it around this 1400-ish RPM, right up to about 4,000 plus. So basically, as you're driving in normal conditions, you've got maximum torque down low. The other engine's maximum torque is a lower number, and it's way up here. And, oh, sorry, somebody's got their Bluetooth connected here. So that's pretty funny. I'm going to hang up on whoever's... There we go. We ended somebody's call. I think my boss drove the phone and hooked up his cell phone to this. And so remember how he was making fun of my hair? Guess what? I just hung up on his phone call. Oh, we're going to hang up again. And I know who's calling him. All right. Pat, if you're still watching, you got to fix that. I'm going to keep hanging up on your people. All right. So over here, you've got, yeah, I win. Okay, so my boss's business partner keeps calling him, and I keep hanging up on him because my boss connected his phone to this car and made fun of my hair, and now I'm hanging up on his business partner. This is the best video ever. Payback. All right. Anyways, over here, I don't remember what I was saying in here. Yeah, so 201 horsepower. It does run on regular fuel. I should point that out. Somebody says premium fuel required for the 201 horsepower. It does run on regular fuel. You don't need to put premium fuel in for our turbo engines. So over here we've got again the maximum torque. So you're getting that pulling power down low, which makes this car not just as quick as the numbers kind of say. It's faster feeling because that torque is down low. So that's a good thing to have. So we're gonna jump out rear seat and trunk space really quickly. We're gonna leave the lights on in this car, and actually, you know what? We'll turn it off for a second. We'll come back to the lights in a second. Rear seat to rear seat. Let's just, there we go. I can't say I adjusted these seats perfectly for me, but they're very close to where I need them. So space-wise, you have good space back here. They are heated seats in both the GT and GT line. So heated seats here. Jumping in here, I should have flipped it to me. Yeah, this is, so my boss who sat here is taller than me, and his seat is back further. But headroom is fine. I can create some little extra legroom here for me, no problem. You've got good rear seat space overall, quite comfortable. You do have a rear armrest back here as well. So if we show you that right there, that's the armrest. And then you have, if we flip the camera around, pockets only on the passenger side, which, you know, you could have put it on both sides. But you have a pocket there, plastic back seats. If you've got kids back here, you can wipe it down and you're good. And then you have over here the vents and a single USB port. So pretty good back here in the GT. Let's just make sure it matches. Of course, the red stitching will be different here than it is. And the other thing that's different, you do have the upgraded sound system. So let me just show you that here for a second. You have satellite radio in both. You have AM, FM, HD radio, but you don't have the Harman Kardon speakers in the GT line. You do have them in the GT here. So that's a difference worth noting. Back here, exact same thing. Single USB port, pocket on the one side, same space, and the vents back there. So, and the heated seats as well. So big difference is that stereo as well. Now, one thing I really like, the trunks of these, they do have a button. So it's just like a hatchback and a SUV. Sometimes they don't have that button. And then you have pretty good space down here for my buddy the teddy bear. This used to be class leading space. When you have the Harman Kardon sound system, you have this subwoofer right there. So that is a subwoofer. Somebody caught that in one of my videos and I didn't mention anything. The reason it's just a single speaker, not double, is it's a subwoofer. So you won't have that in the other trim line that we have today, which gives you just a hair more space. And then you have room for kind of two teddies. I didn't do a good job of stuffing Teddy in here today, but let's call it at least a teddy and a half. So very competitive with that Elantra. They're going to be very similar. They are fold down seats, and this one is a 60-40 split. I'm 99% sure, so let's just make sure. Can we see that line? I can't see the line any. Oh, yeah, there is 60-40 split in there. So there we go. Okay, so let me put that there. All right, so let's look at lighting. And then we'll finish this up by the half-hour mark, take your questions from there. One thing I still really like about this car, it's something they need to do more often. They've moved away from this. They have the handle here, and when you're in Canada, you get a lot of salt and stuff on the cars in the winter. When you go to shut the car like this, if you just swing it down like this, you can end up scratching the paint, leaving the fingerprints, that kind of stuff. So you have this handle here, you can pull it down, it shuts very easily. I really like that. Both these cars have lip spoilers on the back here, so you can see the rear lip spoiler, but there is a difference down here, which you can see. Dual exhaust, pretty cool looking with the diffuser there in the middle with the red line. Coming over here, no visible exhaust at all, and a little bit different lower valance. So you can see a little bit of a difference at the back, but they're very similar. All right, let's go lighting to lighting. Turn on one car, turn on the other car. So what we'll do is we'll turn on the car. We're gonna go full headlights and fog lights on this car. They are LED, we'll talk about that in a second. And then we're gonna do the same thing over here. And I should have turned the signal light on as well. So full headlights, full fog lights, and left side signals. So, signal there in the mirror. Very cool system here, and you're gonna see something like this in the EV6 when it shows up. This is showing up much more amber in person than it is in camera here. But you have the white LED on the bottom, and then as we come over to the non-blinking side over here, you can see bright MFR style LED lights. So they are very bright, and then down here, kind of a hidden fog light look down there. And you can see they're all kind of individually aimed. You see the way it sort of flows through there? And that creates this nice white light over here. Come on, camera. White light doesn't look as white in person, or on camera as it does in person, but you can see the fog lights and the other lights, and they are both nice sharp cutoff lights there. Again, it looks more white in person than it does in regular. So I didn't turn the signal on this one, but it will be the same. We'll just turn it on for you right now. See if we can sort of still show it while it turns on. So there we go. You can sort of see that white LED daytime running light turns into the signal light, which I just think is cool. So this is the updated look here on the front end. And again, basically identical front ends here. There's your fog lights there again, each individually aimed, which is kind of cool. And then coming around to the rear, again, we have signal lights in the mirrors. This side signal light's not on. And we'll show you the back end here. Again, that sort of mimics the same lights out front with sort of the dashes down there. You do still have the signal down low. Some of you guys don't like that. I don't design the cars. It is where it is. Some people seem to think it's a safety issue. We've talked about that and why it's not. It's really not a safety issue. You can also see very clearly with your own eyes, though, in person, very clearly that light blinking right there in the mirror. So there we go. Okay. Saw a GT line with black rims. Is that an option too from the factory? Not with black rims that I'm aware of, not in Canada here. May have had winter tires on there, so that could be the difference. So again, the red lights here do match that front daytime running light. Really sharp look there. All right, so we have 47 people that said, you know what, Peter, you did a good job. I'm gonna give you a like. You hung up on your boss's business partner at least 3 times because he made fun of your hair. And so I'm thinking that deserves a couple likes. We were going to go for 65. Maybe I overshot it today. I'm going to go back to your questions for a second here. We're going to see what you've got, and then we'll keep moving through. I know there were some off-topic questions, so I'll try to get to them, but let's just try to hit the on-topic ones first, if I can. Those red accents look great with the silver paint. Yeah, actually, they really do. The red accents, and to be honest, this red car, I chose it for the video because we have so many red and white, or white, gray and black cars lately. I don't know if I would choose this red with the red. I like the red, but I really kind of like on the GT line, for instance, the white car over there, you can't see it. Let's see if I can sort of zoom in. Yeah, you really can't see it because I'm looking through windows and stuff. It has the same red accents that are, for whatever reason, not showing up on camera. But they look really sharp in that white color as well. So just something to keep in mind. There we go. So he says, I really like Bluetooth when it's connected to the car when you're doing a video. So while my boss is back listening, that was my boss, you made fun of my hair, and I hung up on your business partner 3 times. I think I won. So there we go. All right, this has been fun. Let's keep. This might be the last video I do, and I might get fired because technically his business partner is also employing me. That's why we do the Kia Hyundai channel. So if I'm fired, it's been a good run. We had fun, and there we go. Okay, is the maintenance cost different between the GT and the GT line? Not really. There may be pieces and parts that are different, but an oil change, at least at our dealership, an oil change on each is going to be both the same, unless somebody's going to correct me, but that's basically the same types of costs. There may be pieces and parts, like the rear suspension is redesigned, so you know, if you had a rear suspension issue, that obviously one would cost a little bit more than the other. The wheels on each car, if you bent a rim kind of thing, those things are going to be a little bit more expensive probably on the larger rimmed wheels. Tire replacement, generally speaking, the larger or the lower sidewall tires or smaller sidewall tires are going to be a little bit more expensive. So there is that. But generally speaking, maintenance-wise, you're just equal to equal. And the real thing we hear with the Forte, and I think people sometimes forget this too, is you can look at kind of like a mid-level Seltos and get a top-line vehicle here. So you're getting all these options at a much less price than you would in something like the Seltos, which is the same features inside, but you're getting better value and better efficiency. So again, this car shares the engine with the Seltos, and that shares the engine with the Seltos SX. In this one, you get more power than in the Seltos SX, but you're going to get better efficiency in both of these than the Seltos, and the same or better features in these cars as well. So that's just something to keep in mind there. All right. I see somebody's either making fun of me here again. So I love it when my boss tunes into my videos. It's just, you know, it's always a little nerve-wracking. Okay, so Mimi's giving me some compliments. Thank you, Mimi, for complimenting me in front of my boss. It's always nice for my boss to hear that I'm doing a good job. All right, which one do you like better, the old or the new Forte? That's a cool question. So here's the thing. I always step away from these. It doesn't really matter what I like better. It matters what you like better. But this is one I'll answer. I definitely like this one better, and I'll tell you what was wrong with the previous Forte. The previous Forte, like every car, just stepped a little bit out of date. Lane follow assist is a feature that when I first heard about it, I kind of thought I wouldn't like it. I'm a bit of a control freak. I want things done my way. I want to be in control when I'm driving. Lane follow assist is awesome. I use it every day. It allows the car to sort of steer itself. It's more precise than just lane keeping assist. So that feature alone, I really like in this vehicle. That car, that engine, transmission, suspension combination is an absolute blast to drive in everyday driving. It's the kind of car when the technology goes out of date, 5 to 10 years from now, you're gonna get in that car and it's just fun to drive. It sounds cool, it drives great, so that's great. So that's a real selling feature there. But again, LED headlights that I think are very good. You could get those in the old Forte, but just throughout the lineup, it's here. I like the look of this a little better. I like the wheels. It's just refreshed the look. So I do think this is a worthwhile upgrade. Even for people who are driving a current Forte, you could step into this, or certainly if you're driving something that's previous to this body style, it's definitely time to consider something if you want some of that updated safety features, updated technology features. So somebody says, best gas mileage out of all gasoline, Kia, or Hyundai? Oh, I don't know. Probably these ones. Well, it depends, right? Do we go hybrid? Do we go other stuff? It can depend. PHEV, EV. These are certainly probably some of the best values. So there's opinion out there that EVs are a better deal than gasoline cars. And I would say that there's not an EV out there that's going to be a less cost of ownership than some of these cars right now, because you can buy them fairly inexpensively, get so many features, and just be happy with it that way. So there is that. All right. Okay. So what do we got here? I'm still reading through the comments that my boss was leaving, so I'm sure he's gone now. He hasn't got the attention span to stay with me this long. Okay. What are we doing here? There were some questions I missed about the H-Track system. I don't see that right now. Can you discuss and explain the all-wheel drive lock mode in the H-Track system? So in the United States, you have an all-wheel drive lock mode in the H-Track system. In Canada, you have the drive modes. Essentially what an all-wheel drive lock mode does in all of our cars, if you have it, is it locks all four wheels together equally. So when you think about that, that can be helpful if you're stuck in snow, stuck in mud, those kind of things, because they'll all spin evenly. Now, it's not quite that simple, because when you turn the wheels sharp, it'll actually release. If you go above 30 kilometers an hour, it'll actually release. There's a number of things, because having every wheel spin together is actually a bad thing, even just over bumps and ripples, and as you're S-turning a tiny bit down the road, or especially as you're taking corners. And just if you think about going around a corner, the outside wheel is going to be a different path or a longer path than the inside wheel. So that four-wheel drive lock button should only be used on slippery conditions when you're kind of stuck. The rest of the time, it's my opinion that you let the car think for itself in slippery conditions and do its thing unless you're stuck, and then you can try that button, see if it works. That's my opinion. That's how I would advise using it. Not saying I'm right, that's just the way I would do it. We did a tires versus technology video on my Santa Cruz the other day where we drove it in the snow, and I think you'll see sort of that drive mode thinking for itself, the terrain modes thinking for themselves is very, very good. So we'll do, I do recommend that. All right. When will I have the Forte 5 hatch? I don't know. It's going to be always later. Whenever we have the new Forte introduced, the Forte 5 is later. These, I believe, are built in Mexico, and the Forte 5 is built in Korea. So we get them on a little bit different schedule initially, and then they start coming in. So that's that. All right, guys, we're going to leave it here. The Ioniq 5 has arrived at Brantford Hyundai. I don't know if it's quite ready to see for customers to see, but I'm going to go see it this evening, and then I'm going to have it here tomorrow live on our video. That's kind of been one of the most anticipated cars for probably a year and a half now. We're going to see it here tomorrow. I'm going to go through it, and we're going to go through it for probably 40 minutes or more, and that'll just be our initial look at it. We're going to dig into that car deeper than anybody else. We'll be able to have it back here again and again and again. So join us tomorrow, please, because I want that to be just a big video for us, because I want people to see it who are interested in it. The more people we can have watching it helps us out. It helps that spread to people who want to see it. So that's going to be a fun day tomorrow. I'm going to go look at that later this evening. I want to thank you guys for joining us here. I set a goal of 65 likes. We got to 57. We did what we could. So I want to thank you guys for joining us, and forgive my boss. He's actually a really good guy. Even though he makes fun of his employees, he's a better guy than he seems online, I promise. So forgive him, and I'm going to go see if I'm fired or not. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully.